Friends, let's continue our course. Today we'll model a drainage system. I'll also show you two types of families. The first series is from Technonickel. They have the advantage of being quite detailed, so you can then compile specifications for these elements quite accurately, all for the drainage system. On the complaint, on the drainage system, you can then calculate all this in the specifications. The second family is simpler, but with it, modeling is faster. Let's work with the families first. But before I forget, let's go to the roof plan. Select this cap of ours. You can find it with the tab. Set the dimensions to 800 by 500, so they are even. And align it. Move the tool, so let's move it to the side for now. Let's try aligning it along the line of this middle wall. If it doesn't line up, press Escape twice, take the cap, and move it. Here, catch the middle, right here, the middle. The triangle, the anchor. It's caught just fine. Okay, well, on this side too. Or on the facade, let's say we can move it to the western facade. Move it, we've caught the middle of the cap. And move it to the middle of this wall along the anchor. We'll move it to the southern facade. You can raise it a little, move it too, so the pipe doesn't stick out. Just a little bit, like that. We'll leave it like that. Let's leave it like that. Go to the roof plan. Click Insert, load the family. Start with the gutter, select the gutter family. Technonickel has 6 types of brackets and 10 types of junctions. This family has quite a lot of properties. Click Open, then Architecture, Component. Select it anywhere for now, like. Usually, just left-click it once, set it. And then go to the south facade. Here's our gutter. Move it here. Go to the west facade and move it closer to the fascia board. Since we have a fascia board in our project, this bracket type can be changed to a regular one. This bracket, which is for fastening either to the cable duct or to the rafter legs, or rather, to the rafters, changes the bracket type here in the properties of this family. You can select a plastic bracket and move it. This way, we'll move our gutter to the fascia board. We can move the drip cap a little. Also, use the move command here by 20 millimeters. Or by 10 millimeters and move it that way. We'll leave everything as is and move on to the south facade. This module's length can be adjusted by 1.5 meters with a maximum length of 3 meters. You can set it to the maximum length for now. If you need more brackets, they're already spaced at the recommended distance. 600 to 700 millimeters, I think. These distances can be adjusted either manually, I think you can move them by pressing cancel, or here. The distances for the second and third brackets can also be adjusted, 600, 1.200, 1.800, they're all available. Brackets can be added, if 3 brackets are enough for a 1.5 meter element. Then you'll need to add more for a 3 meter element. We'll also add the visibility of the 4th, 5th, and 6th brackets. 6 brackets have been added. Now, let's move on to the west. Let's switch back to a metal bracket. With a metal bracket, you can adjust the plate length or the angle of rotation. If you're attaching it to the sheathing, for example, you can position it quite precisely. If you don't have a fascia board, you can position it, say, like this. We'll cancel it. To a plastic bracket and insert it like this. We'll attach it to the fascia board. Next, let's return to the south facade. The gutter connection is on the left. On the right, and there are many different options here, too. The main ones are, let's look at the right. You can switch to a 3D view for clarity. Let's zoom in. Select the gutter and select the connection type on the left. Currently, there's no connection, meaning the end of the gutter is open. Next, you can install a water intake. A water intake funnel for subsequent attachment of the downpipe. Dot. Next we go. A funnel with 2 metal brackets, a funnel with 2 plastic brackets. I think that's an option. Next, a connection. You can install a plug. A plug will be added, along with a gutter connector. If you need to connect 2 gutters, you can go to the family, select a gutter, go to the type properties, and change the type. You can download the documentation from Technonickel using the link. There are installation instructions there, and they're quite comprehensive and clear. Next, on the connections on the left, there are all sorts of angles, 90 degrees one way, 90 degrees the other, and so on. There's a 135 degrees angle, which is what we're interested in this case. Without a junction for now on the left, let's move to the facade. On the left, we'll put the junction on the left. Without a junction, we'll return to the southern facade. Let's place a funnel. In principle, we could add it here. Here we'll put a junction on the left. The junction type is a water intake funnel. You can choose a pre-intake funnel with 2 brackets, plastic. Let's move our gutter closer to the edge of the house. You can add a funnel this way, that is, you select the gutter junction. Also, this funnel is a separate family, you can select it with the tab. You see, I've only selected the funnel. If I just want to copy it, it copies the entire gutter. Click, check. If you want to use just this family, add the funnel separately somewhere. Go to the roof plan. In the Project Manager, remember, all families are stored in the Project Manager. Search by name. Here we've selected the funnel. It's called a water inlet funnel with 2 brackets. Look here, start typing water inlet funnel. Here it is with 2 plastic brackets. Right. Click on this family, create an instance. That's it. Now you're adding only the funnel component. Just like that, without the gutter. Then you can return to the south facade. Here, align it where you need it. Use the tool to align it along this line. Align, and thus you can add a separate funnel. Okay. Yes, delete it. We won't use it for now. Select this VOP, the copy command. You can set the orthogonal mode, copy, for now. Grab this end and move it here. So, our overhang is 658. Select it. Set the length here to 600. Brackets. Remove all unnecessary ones, check. The boxes, leave only 2 plastic brackets, look on the right. Connecting gutter. Gutter connector, abutment, like abutment on the right, added. Here this element appears. Take our gutter and move it. Connect it with our existing funnel. Okay. Well, by the way, you can basically select the abutment on the right without the abutment. Let's move this bracket here. Let's try it. Yes, it moved, and let's just move it here, because there's already a connection here. They just don't fit together. That's it. Put a plug on the left abutment. That's it, and leave this edge of the gutter alone. Next. Let's move on. Go back to the facade. Select the existing gutter. Copy it freely. For now, move it here. Carefully. Don't move, not move. But the copy command, move it. Here, add the abutment on the left here, the connector. Connects these 2 gutters. Replace the plug on the right with a connector again. And simply copy and continue building up our gutter. But here, there should be a connecting gutter on one side of one gutter. Of course, we select this one. On the right, we select without abutment. And here we have a connector. Just drag it here. So, the same thing can be done here. Take this gutter on the left, install it without the abutment. Move it here. Change this one on the right without connecting it. Move this one and connect them here. We've done everything. Lengthwise, let's set it to 1.5 meters for now. The unnecessary checkmarks from the brackets, remove. Here we have a connector on the right. Let's now use a separate funnel. We'll work with it and then move it from plan to plan. You can actually place these entire families in 3D. But it's very inconvenient. For example, I select a family, and creating a similar one in 3D is inconvenient. It seems like I'm about to place it here, but I click and it's positioned here. So, you also need to align it in 3D, and you can basically move it all. Sometimes even faster than on facades. But not as accurate as on facades or plans. So get used to working on facades, on plans, when you gain experience. You can work in 3D, that is, work where it is generally faster and more convenient for you. That's it, I'll delete this. Go to the roof plan, look for the water intake funnel. With 2 plastic brackets, right-click, create a copy. Place it here arbitrarily for now. Go back to the western facade. It needs to be on the eastern one. Go to the eastern facade. Here is our funnel. So I need a funnel. I only need one with 2 plastic brackets. There is probably no such thing here. There is a water intake funnel here. Just without brackets, with 2 metal brackets. With 2 plastic brackets. Let's select it. Okay, let's work with it for now. Let's move it to the side for now. Align the tool, align it along the center lines. Now on the south facade. Take our funnel, shift it. Move it. Here. Put it here. So let's see, we have a funnel here, and here too, with brackets. Okay. We'll leave it like this. Then, we're done, along with the protective grille. This is also visibility. You can turn it on and off. See if you need it or not, then the length. Here is 1.500. You can set it to 1.300. And you can take our existing end element. Try mirroring the mirror. Select the axis. Mirror it arbitrarily for now along this. This is our middle, I think. Yes, let's see. We'll take the size. No, this is not. Look, if you want to mirror the element exactly through the centerline of the house. Don't forget about auxiliary constructions in your work. Go to the annotations. Select the regular detail line. Select the line. So, draw from axis to axis. Draw it. Select this element. Delete it for now. Select the forehead on this side. Use the mirror build axis command and find the middle of this line. See, mirrors, mirror to the other side. That's it for you. The position is mirrored to the other side of the house. You can then leave this line or delete it. Decide whether you need it or not. So this gutter element can be made larger 1.400. Here's the funnel. Move it a little like this. Put it. That's it, we've done the same on this side, or it could have been done somehow. Delete these elements altogether. Move this gutter here for now. Take this element on this side. Take it carefully, and even like this, take these two elements. Mirror through the axis. Use the mirror build axis command. Find the middle again. Mirror. Then carefully find this element that we had here. Delete it, we don't need it here. Here it is, we selected it, we delete it. And here we just change the length. Let's set it to 1.5 meters. We'll also remove the extra brackets. Let's add a connecting gutter on the left. Or maybe a mirror image, then on the left it's here. Let's press cancel. On the right there's a connecting gutter. And here too. We'll make the length of this element here 2.900 or 3. Leave it at 3 meters. Let's move it a little. Okay, we've selected this element and let's move it here a little. We'll keep everything clear. That is, create your gutter along the entire house using connecting elements. Moving on, go to the roof plan. Let's load the family of our downpipe, insert. And load the family. Let's first select this pipe. A downpipe, 2 types of junction, a corner pipe. We need the pipe right now. Click Open, select Architecture, Component immediately. Press spacebar to rotate it. As desired, as always, place it first, go to the western facade. And there it is, our pipe. We've oriented it incorrectly. Let's go to the roof plan and use the Rotate 180 degrees command. Once again, let's cancel the Rotate command. I'll show the rotation command at any point. Click it, then, it's important to show the direction of rotation. However, in this case, it's not as critical because we're rotating at 180 degrees. Show the direction and angle. Enter the rotation amount from the keyboard. It's rotated. Go to the western facade and use the Move command. Move it here, align it with the center lines. There should be a snap here. Now that it's aligned, select it again and lift it up. Connect these 2 elements. We now have an angle of 108 degrees, which you can select. There's also an angle here, like the size of this family, 135 degrees, so there's this option. So, we'll leave 108. Just lower it a bit. That's it, we'll leave it like this, we won't go into details anymore. Nothing here is particularly important. Okay. We can also change the junction for this family. You can add or remove this elbow to the junction visibility from above, and the same thing can from below on the plan. Let's align it so we won't see it on the plan. We'll move to the south facade then and also align it along the center. Reference lines. We've aligned everything here. Next, we move on to the roof plan. Go to Insert, Load Family. Downpipe, 9 junction types. Selected, Open. Architecture, Component. Place it anywhere for now and move to the south facade. Here's our pipe. Shift it down. Move it. Align it along the center lines. Move to the west facade and align it here too. We see that this piece is too long. This pipe here, we selected in the properties. Look. For this property, let's try setting it to 400. It will become shorter. We align it again. For this pipe too, look. The abutment at the top can be set without the abutment. So that there is another elbow on. Well, we don't need an extra elbow here, it's possible. Select the pipe, Here is the elbow, and 108 degrees or 135. As it was. Two pipe elbows of 135. We can of course use this, but I don't see the point. Let's set it without abutment. Let's move our pipe. Here, up to the aerated concrete, well, up to our axis, we'll do this. Move it. Raise it. The pipe, the length can be set to. Or rather, 2 with a try is too much. Let's set 2,300, let's try. A little, let's move it here again. We'll figure it out. This distance can basically be used to measure it. Let's save the project. Don't forget. Take the parallel dimension between the axes. Measure how much 516 is here. Let's try, put 516 here. Or put 500. So 516.49. We'll leave 480,480. Take this pipe and raise it here. You can also slightly or align it. This line, align it again. Use the tab to find the center line at this elbow. Align the pipe along the center line, comma. You can raise it here. We'll switch to 3D. We're all done. The abutment at the bottom can also be changed without. Abutment. And different. Drainage fastening options. We'll leave with the universal clamp. Everything is fine, added, move on to the south facade. Take our first pipe. Control the second one selected. Copy the commands from the middle of our funnel. Copy them here to this side. We've done everything. Let's change the color. Remember, you can take an existing preset element. Change the type and material color. Copy RAL 7016. Select the pipe here. Change the type. Material TN plastic brown. RAL 8019. Change it to RAL 7016. Grand line. The same here. And change the same thing for this family. In the type properties, change the material, so that everything is in the same color scheme. Carefully select the grid separately, also a separate family. and go to the type property. So, grid again. Type properties. I don't see a material here. So let's select this one. We've configured it here. Here's the material, protective grid. Select it. And paste the desired material here. Yeah, some hatching was added there. There was some hatching added there. Let's hit cancel. This material just has some shading added. This grid, of course, it's not solid here, it's a solid element, a solid body. And so on. It's just some shading added here, as if there were a grid. Okay, let's not leave it like this. Now, how do we quickly project it to the other side? How do we model the same system? We can try mirroring. Again, go to the facade. Select everything from left to right like this. Go to filter, pay attention. Now uncheck the elements we don't need. We don't need roofs, we don't need fascia boards either. We don't need slabs, we only need generalized models. These are our gutter models. Click OK. Mirror. Select the axis and mirror it through the center line of our house. To the other side. The element cannot be symmetrically displayed in this position. It gives an error. Let's click Delete Elements. Just see what it mirrored for us. What's he complaining about? Let's switch to 3D. I don't see any errors here. He basically mirrored everything. We'll set it up like this. The only thing is, for this gutter, let's change the height in the 3D view to 2.0. And raise. Let's make it 200 and lower it. By 100 millimeters. So the pipe doesn't extend into the terrace or patio. That's it. These are the families, as you can see, with a lot of detail and lots of useful properties, meaning you can model the gutter quite flexibly. If, in addition, each position can then be assigned accordingly, some kind of identifier, add this entire specification and calculate. Let's show another family. Drains and gutters with these families. You can and should work with them in principle. The only thing is, well, it takes a long time. Yes, that is, longer. You need to collect these segments separately, connect them, look at everything and model. Let's orient ourselves on the left. Select like this with a frame, select a filter, click. Leave only the generalized ones. OK. Hide the points of the element, so they don't get in our way. In Revit, the program has a separate gutter tool. That builds a gutter for you along the entire length of your roof. Let me show you. Go to Architecture. Roof, Gutter, a family has already been added here. You need a round gutter R 90 mm. All that is required of you is to simply select the edge. Roof or fascia board, you select. The program builds the gutter on. There are no brackets. This gutter is simply drawn. Done. Next, let's move on to the southern facade. Now if you need, one more thing, if you need to change the radius. Go to change the type. Here, remember, we worked with the profile, exactly. Also change the profile to the one you need, if R90 does not suit. Create another profile type through the Property Manager. There you set the dimensions and simply select the profile you need in this family. We already did this in the last lesson. We will move on to the southern facade. To the northern one, or rather, and here it is not hidden. Yes, let's go. Here we have a technical gutter. Let's continue on to 3D. We're working now, please note. We're in temporary hiding mode, meaning the program is telling you that something is hidden here. We're in temporary hiding mode now, so you don't forget. Click Insert, load the family. Select a simple gutter, click Open. Architecture, component, and place it right in the 3D view. The base is a wall, place the pipe. Rotate it, use the Align tool to align it with the top edge. Use the tab to find the top edge of our gutter. And carefully use the tab here too until a dot appears. It will align everything. Select it and simply adjust the cornice here to the desired weight of 600. For example, if 600 isn't enough, try 50. 630. 625, for example. That's it, roughly that's it. Adjust the height as well, comma. .100 millimeters, we'll set it. Lower the 2.600. Or even lower it by 2.700 by 100 millimeters. Here. As you can see, we very quickly modeled the gutter using these families. You simply move the pipe where you need it and copy it to the other side. You can compare. The detailing of these families with the detailing of NICOL. If you just need to model and show where the gutter needs to be, you can basically use these simple families. But again, you won't be able to create specifications from them. Specifications from these families will be difficult to obtain and inaccurate. However, you can still work with them. That's it, let's delete them. Leave our NICOL models in the gutter system. Exit temporary hiding mode, select glasses, restore the original view. Click. And there our pipe is back. That's it, I think I've covered everything, friends. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. Please try working with these families. You need to get used to them. Get the hang of it. NICOL is a good family. Close all inactive windows. Save the project. And move on to the next lesson. The only thing is, let's move to the facade now. To the west, we moved the drip edge here. Let us move it on the other side too, so it's positioned correctly. Select it. Use the move 10mm command and move it. Okay, I don't really like how our ridge strip is. Let's select it, move it. First, put it in the middle here, and raise it a little. Higher than our gable strips. It S positioned correctly. Save the project and move on to the next lesson.